The following program is for entertainment purposes only. Off-the-leash animal news is not meant to be taken as official news information. Although the stories are real, some of the animals' names have been changed to protect their identity. If you are offended by any of the content, please discontinue watching and consult with your grandparents immediately. Some content may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Off the Leash Animal News,
the show where we bring you interesting and exciting stories about animals from around the world.
My name is Jason Kenzie.
And I'm Izik Nox.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about alligators in yoga pants.
Like, you mean alligators wearing yoga pants?
No, alligator was found in a lady's yoga pants.
Also, we have a story about a dog stealing potato chips.
It was actually the spicy potato chip. Yeah, those are the worst. We also are going to be talking about a bear that photobombs a wedding. We go all the way to Florida, where a lady in Florida was caught with an alligator in her yoga pants. No, I'm not kidding. So they were driving, her boyfriend and her. She was in the passenger seat, and they get pulled over. And the cops pull them out of the car, and they say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" They said, "We were gathering turtles down at the bridge down the street." And the cop said, "Do you have anything else?" The lady said, "Why, yes, I have an alligator down my pants." And the guy said, "Well, hey, I have something not as big down my pants."
That's right, it happens, Jason. The other day I was putting on some sports pants and I'm like, oh yeah, something feels weird. I completely forgot that I stashed a small zebra in there. Funny thing, in Florida, it is actually legal to own and have certain animals, but alligators are not one of them.
No, in Florida, you're not allowed to have, and let me quote this, a rhinoceros, crocodiles, alligators, bears, tigers, and Donald Trump's wig. If you have a permit, you can have a cougar, you can have a howler monkey, you can have a wolf, ooh, that's great, and you can have a Bigfoot.
So, Jason, I imagine she probably had this alligator in her pants to sell on the black market.
I don't know, either that, to raise it as a pet.
Yes, hello. I'm inquiring to take out a permit for a monkey that I would like to keep down my pants.
You know how many news articles are out there with people having alligators as pets? This makes for the whole new name, downward dog. It was more like downward alligator in my pants. After they took these animals, they did find 40 turtles and they found a snake. So they rescued all these animals and they re-released them back into the wild. Of course, the alligators did have issues trying to adapt back into their habitat. Officials have observed this alligator walking around in yoga pants while eating vegan fish burgers. As for the turtles, they have all made terrible decisions in their life. They have all auditioned for the new movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because we know that movie will... So that must happen a lot in Florida. People going out and gathering these animals and then reselling them. I mean, that's terrible. So don't anyone buy any of these alligators, especially if you find them on eBay. 4 months later, she was caught again with 4 raccoons and 8 skunks in her pants. Officials had a hell of a time trying to get these animals out of her pants because they were having a basketball game. It was a...
Speaking of stealing things, our next story involves a puppy stealing potato chips out of a store.
Yes, we go someplace in Brazil. He didn't just pick up potato chips, he picked up a can of pop, some milk, a chocolate bar, and some Twizzlers.
After running out the front door and realizing that he had actually stolen Lay's potato chips, he ran back into the store, found the owner, and threw him in his face.
And went and picked up some Dutch potato chips. Way better. Salt and pepper. Those are the best, my friend.
It is believed that this is not the pup's first time stealing. In the near future, he could team up with other dogs and they could have ski masks and be equipped with knives and go full throttle into a butcher shop.
He started making a habit of this, and he actually went and started stealing bigger items like TV sets, couches, and lawn rakes. He had a really bad addiction for sniffing fleas. And if some of the fleas are not dead yet, when you crush them up, you're like... He went on to star in the new upcoming movie Benji, but soon was fired because he was too demanding. and he just kept wanting to order chips.
For those of you who don't know who Benji is a superstar dog who starred in at least a dozen movies back in the 80s.
The owner of the shop, because he left his glasses at home, he was confused. He ended up pressing charges towards the neighbor's cat, thinking he was the one that stole the chips.
Speaking of seeing things well, you don't always see when someone is photobombing your photo, which is what happened to the next couple in Tennessee.
So romantic. They had a wedding and they were standing around. The photographer is snapping these photos, and they turned around and saw a bear. This bear was massive, at least 100 pounds. Wasn't eating very well, not at all. Instead of them running away, they turned around and said, "Hey, let's get some photos taken with this bear." So they posed with the bear in the background. All of a sudden, the bear turned around, stood up, sniffed the air, and started walking towards them. The groom just shot his pants. Yeah, it was all chaos. But it turned out the bear, all he wanted to do was ask them to not smoke and if they've seen his ranger's hat. Yeah, I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. He also went on to say, "Look, I will rip you guys apart if you do not subscribe to OTL Animal News." So what do you think they did? They subscribed.
It is possible that the bear had showed up for the banquet, the human banquet, that is. But after seeing his options, he left with his stomach empty.
The bear did have some good insight and also an amazing tip to give this couple. I have the quote right here. "Marriage is the leading cause of divorces." Not my opinion. That's the bear. It's really messy because, somehow the bear doesn't know how to write.
Disappointed that he did not find any food, the bear had bribed a couple skunks to crash the wedding when it was in full motion.
After all was said and done, the bear did go on to hire the photographer to photograph his wedding.
That's right, but upon receiving the photos, the bear had noticed that a couple had been photobombing all his photos in the background.
Which really pissed off the bear. So the bear just went after these guys and... I guess you could say that the couple did get away, barely. What? Bees! Bees! Oh! Hey Izik, did you know that there is a really cute photo out there of a chipmunk that photobombs a couple?
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah. Lucky in this case, the bear wasn't in front of them because the bride, the groom, and the photographer would not be here today.
And that bear would have looked a little more plump.
Thank you so much for joining us on another OTL Animal News.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload another exciting story.
And there is links to all the stories down below. And there's a secret link. But before I let you go, I want you to remember, always support your local animal rescues. See you next week.
Have a good night, everybody.